Morning everyone, and thank you very much for having me on stage. I've actually can you hear me clearly? Yep. I've actually kept my own notes in my pocket because what I've seen and what I've heard has just been incredible, and such success here. There's so much knowledge that's been shared, and the key is grabbing that information and using it. I think Jazila summarized it brilliantly when she said around Sheikh Mohammed saying, imagine, design, and execute. There's no surprises when you hear about the success of all the people who have spoken already. There's a real process that's been followed by each one of them. And especially with Jazila and Cynthia, I think they really emphasized a number of steps that led them to where they are today. And if you go back to Sheikh Mohammed, aren't we blessed in this city? You look at it, it's not a fluke. There's vision, so he's imagined it. The leadership's imagined it, then they've designed what that looks like, and then they've executed it. You know, we wouldn't be standing here today if we didn't have a spine and a skeleton. So there's that structure, and then we can be flexible. So you've heard about the adaptabilities that's needed, but we've all got that skeleton behind us. So it's just shown you the 7 steps. My commitment to you, actually, from all of this, I think you've heard steps that are really critical. If you email me, you can go to my website, you can email me personally, and I'll give you a format that I work with my coaching clients that really summarizes exactly what you've heard from everyone. So if you've got all the notes, I'll try and share with you exactly a business plan, a design that you can use in your life and your career. And I wasn't expecting to do that. I haven't done that before, but I share that with all my clients and I work through it. And you can actually work through a program which will really help you with your life and where you want to be. So the 7 steps which I see is critical is, first one is why, what is your purpose? So it's so easy to say, hey, we all want to be CEO, but that's a very, very narrow target to be. What is it really that you're looking for? What will fulfill you? What will get you excited? What does that mission look like? The values and the beliefs that we've heard about that each person who's spoken today is stuck to, that's driven them to where they are. This passion and this strengths-based area is number 2, actually. So, that pivoting, that where people have looked at it and said, I'm not actually doing what I love. You really need to go back and say, am I doing what I love? And, incredible success that everyone here, I presume, or most people have done the ACCA qualifications. What a bedrock for success. Then look at it and say, how can I be even more successful? How can I do what I love every day? And I think that comes into authenticity as a leader. It's so easy to come here and say, I'm going to be that CEO person. I'm going to be in that board meeting or even that meeting, and I'm going to copy a man. And that's really not what men are looking for and what diversity is about. It's actually, we want you to be authentic. We want, like Sam said, his mother's the CEO. How often is that spoken about? So is she being authentic? Yes, I'm sure she is. No doubt about it. I'm sure whoever's running your family is being authentic. We need that to be part and parcel of who you are as a person. So if you're trying to pretend to be a man, and it's so easy to try and pretend that because success generally in businesses, the stats are saying it's 3% of women are in leadership roles within finance. So it's easy to copy what success is, but that's not what it is about, okay? Have a personal statement. So whatever that looks like, can you write it on your t-shirt? If you're walking into a room, do you know what it is? Can you actually just line it? So it's really 1 inch wide and so deep. When people meet you, that thing which is so natural, which David was speaking about, spend 30 seconds assessing someone. That's human traits. Can people actually see that on your t-shirt? So are you speaking nothing is impossible? Or, those great catchphrases that the big companies are. Do you have one for yourself? It's It's really valuable when you do. And you can just revert back to that the whole time and say, am I being true to myself? Am I meeting my objectives? Number 4, we've heard it continually, goals, goals, goals. Even from today, have you got immediate goals that you can do? Transfer this from a vision, from a design and putting that together into action. Can you take one thing? Start with one thing, 2 things. Are there things that you can stop? So Cynthia, you said about things that you could have done better. So there's areas that she's analysed and said, can I improve on it and bring those in? So there's things that maybe you can stop, but maybe you can accelerate as well. So, and then goals transcend into maybe the next 3 months. Look at it and say, okay, what can I achieve before September? Then you look at 2022. What can you do from now until the end of the year that will make 2022 really successful? That you're sat there at the end of the year, 2023 celebrations are coming, and you go, wow, that was an incredible year. How does that look for you? And visionize it for yourself. And then for me, generally, I work mainly with men, and I've tried to change that this year, and I've now got 6 clients consciously at the start of the year who are female. So what are you actually consciously doing? And for men, a lot of it is about avoiding a midlife crisis. So I'm 45. David sort of insinuated that he may be just over 50. So for me, it's like, when I hit 50, what does that look like as a successful landmark? And then maybe stretch further, so you can even have infinite goals. What does that end of life look like that you really, really being purposeful, live to your values, and what does success look like? Because we're here for a short time. Yeah. So next one is live in the moment. So it's so easy, even when you're in a conversation, that you're hearing 2 sides. There's 2 sides to every story. So there's 4 people in a conversation. It's very complex. So really concentrate on that moment. There's snippets of information that someone's sharing, just like David said. Are you really in the moment? Are you listening at that time? And are you really picking up the real messages? 6, great communities. What are the great communities you're part of? Brilliant, you're here. So surely ACCA, great community. You've got women in business communities. Maybe if your company aren't doing women in business things themselves, maybe you can start one. Maybe buy Sheryl Sandberg's book, Lean In. We did this at Cummins. We had all the people involved, men and women, brought men into it as well, and we discussed the book, Lean In. There's an option. So if you're not doing it, do it. But look at the communities, look at the opportunities to network, see how they are. Communities can be small and big as well. And then lastly, master great weeks. So we can all have a tough day. We can all have a tough conversation. Something can go bad, something can be good. But a week is a great platform to say, I really want to nail it. So maybe start on a Sunday night, have a look at what the following week looks like. Monday morning, just plan it. Make sure you're there for success, and really concentrate on what a great week looks like. Think about that process that you come back. Be adaptable, but really put a plan together, structure it, and live on purpose. So if you live on purpose, you can achieve what Cynthia and others have done, and you will be hugely successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam. Don't have to pretend to be a man. What's your personal statement? So maybe before you go away today, you can all think about what's that statement that you would write on your T-shirt. Be present and be mindful and live in the moment. I think that's really important, because in this day and age that we're living in, we're constantly thinking about tomorrow, next month, next year, 5 years' time, where do we want to go? And we're on this rat race, on this running machine, just constantly going towards that. And I think we really do need to stop, pause, and just live for now, for this moment. And I loved the last point about living on purpose. So thank you so much for your words of wisdom.